Are you unknowingly sabotaging your brand by ignoring how your audience's brain really makes buying decisions? Welcome back. If you're new here on this podcast, we're going to bring expert interviews and actionable tips to help you master marketing without the overwhelm. And if that sounds like your vibe, make sure to subscribe to the podcast or our YouTube channel. Today, I am so excited to be chatting with Nicole. Nicole Powell is founder of Halcon Marketing and a marketing strategist with over 15 years of experience on both the client and the agency sides. Having both sides knowledge is so powerful. Nicole isn't just another marketer. She is lending a movement to redefine how agencies and clients collaborate. Her mission: flip the script on outdated marketing agency culture and carve out some meaningful results-driven strategies for her clients. Nicole's expertise lies at the intersection of psychology and marketing, leveraging neuromarketing strategies and championing women in business along the way. Welcome, Nicole. I'm so happy to have you here.
I literally want to crawl under a table every time someone raises my vibe. It's
No, I have the same thing. I either have people that say, I want you to introduce me every time because you're like so excited. And then I have people who are like you, they're like, oh.
I know
like
there's a coach out there who can help me with this. I'm positive.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I am really excited to have you on here. Before we hit the record button, I was telling her how I'm fascinated with, and I'm going to start diving into that neuromarketing side. I mean,
Sure.
if we can work with everyone's brains out there to get across our point, how powerful. So I'm thrilled that you're here. Everyone, get your pens and paper ready, or if you're driving the kids to school or picking them up, wait till you get home, drive safely. Okay, I want to just jump right in because I'm really excited to hear more. Tell me a little bit about the windy road that led you to what you're doing today.
Oh, absolutely. So there's two stories here. The first story is, how did I start an agency? And when I tell you that starting a business was never, ever, 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 I never even considered it. So I was born in Manila, grew up in the Bronx in New York. So went to college first. So kind of dove into TV production and marketing. So obviously the clear route, if you are in New York City, was to go through that corporate ladder with some entertainment conglomerates, right? And that was the vision, right? And that was the only vision. That was it, kind of aging my title. And that's how I define success. And then my husband and I moved to St. Louis, which is a totally different vibe. So I started working at an agency and things of that nature. So I just found, and again, everyone's experience is a little bit different. But when you start right out of college and kind of immerse yourself in certain environments, like you think that is the norm. Like there is no other way. Like that is how it's going to be, regardless of what company you're in, and that's it. And I just really found it wasn't conducive to how I like to work.
Yeah, and that should be an important point. When you own your business, you get to choose how you work, but then you also have to take on the stress of running a business. So it's definitely a give and take situation.
Absolutely. And trust me, I did not know what that stress was until I did it. So at the end of the day, I think I was burnt out. I was working all the time. I was traveling. And I think when I was younger, that was great, right? You're like in your early.
Of course. Yeah. It's like, see the world on someone else's dime.
Oh, yeah. But I think I was transitioning into a different phase of my life, and that kind of culture and feeling like, well, I got to go the extra mile all the time and work myself to death, because there's always somebody, around, right behind me who's going to take my job. And I think that's what they want you to feel. Right? That's and in marketing, as in any kind of creative field, you need the brain space to think and
to be creative. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I felt like in a lot of organizations, it's okay, you're done with this. Now another one, now another one, now another one. And you just don't have the bandwidth at a certain level to think outside the box. And ultimately, that's where those impactful and kind of viral stuff come in, is when you have that brain space. So at first I thought that was just it. Like, this is how it is. this is how it is. So
This
I
is
left.
it. And I just need to make peace with it.
Correct. But it was such a struggle, and I don't know,
Mhm.
you guys have probably seen
Yes.
me, listened to me for a short time now. Like, this is how I am normally. And I also felt like I had to fit a
Yes.
certain
Yes.
way.
No one talks about that
Yeah.
either. I find. So I'm
Yeah.
happy that you brought that up.
Yeah. And again, everyone's experience is different. So I'm just I
Yeah.
just felt like, and I've even had some people tell me that as like
Yes.
feedback in my review, that I had to present myself a different way if I wanted that title or that job. Right.
Oh, yes.
I had to like have more masculine energy. Someone actually told me that.
Literally?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Which I think in this
man.
day and age would
That
be
right there, go
better.
do your own thing.
Yeah.
That would-
Yeah. But now it's, yeah.
Now it's
So,
different. Yeah.
and for me, I mean, you're literally living this a majority of your workday, and it just wasn't aligned with who I was. But again, to circle back, I just thought that was the way. That was just
Mhm.
how it was going to be. So I left marketing altogether, and I kind of started from the bottom at a totally different industry, and in property management and commercial and residential
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah.
you know what? I'm just gonna do this because I'm
Yeah.
like trying all the time. I can't do this anymore. And I mean, they obviously found out I had all this marketing
Yeah.
experience. So they said, hey, why don't you go and help out with this new building that we're creating? We need like a big
The
marketing.
marketing. Yeah. And you
Yeah.
need that before it's finished, right?
Yeah.
You need to start.
So I was like,
Got it.
sure, I'll help out. And I was just doing it for fun. But in this particular role, like, one, the vibe was just different. Like, I actually
Mhm.
really, really loved coming in because it was just like a solid, great team.
Yeah.
You didn't feel that competition where
Yeah.
someone might kind of like get mad at you because you overstepped and gave a creative idea when you weren't supposed to. I don't know.
Or
And
you did too much and you're making others look bad. And
right,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm not stressed out right now. And plus, like, I at first when I left marketing, I thought it was marketing. Like, I thought it was just the marketing industry.
Yeah.
And I found out that I actually really enjoy and I'm good at marketing. So
And you have the education behind you as well.
Yeah,
like it
right,
just, yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Let me, as like every, I think, entrepreneur these days has said, I'm just going to do a little side hustle. I'm just going to do this
Yeah.
on the side. Said every,
Mhm.
I feel like female business.
Yeah, I mean, I started 5 years doing
Yeah.
photography on the side because I didn't want to I needed my job. And then I
Right.
was like, I need to just be doing
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah,
it takes a while to
exactly.
get there
Yeah,
sometimes.
because I mean, I was definitely,
Mhm.
because it wasn't something,
Yeah.
I'm not a huge risk taker. So, I
And
don't.
you were already burnt out before. So that is a big hesitation
Correct.
thinking about doing it for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, it was a different market. So I was exposed to different kinds of business owners. It wasn't like
Yeah.
50 levels of, a corporation and brand managers and all of these
Yeah.
people. And I just kind of realized, like, I think that's it. That's the formula. But I have to create an environment internally where, we can continue to, of course, grow and help other people, but at the same time have that work-life balance, have the capability and ability to have brain calories left for strategic thinking. And, I've been lucky to have been doing it. Everything's, learnings every year, but, we are here and ready to go. So that was one
I
part.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It also gives you a real good appreciation from a client side and an agency side. And agencies can get that could be hard also.
It is very fun.
But it is great when you run a business to have both sides knowledge. I think that's so cool. Okay, let's dive in. For our audience who may be new to the term, what exactly is neuromarketing and why should service-based business owners even care about that?
Great. All right, let's get going.
Are you ready?
So neuromarketing, I get like, did you make this up? Is this real? I'm like, yes, it's real. And it's basically that intersection between marketing, psychology, behavioral economics. But at the end of the day, it's really understanding how our brains receive information. you've heard the stat everywhere, most of our buying decisions are made subconsciously. Like at the end of the day, we
Yes.
probably already know what we're going to do, even though we think we consciously know. So what really interested me in this world is, prior to that, I think you read in the books, do this, do that, do this, but there wasn't a ton of science behind it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was more experience and results that someone else
Yes.
got that you're like, okay, tell me what you did so I can do
Correct.
it. Where
Yeah.
this is like legit.
Right. In this world, I mean, everything you do in marketing is kind of a mix of a variety of different things, right? You do
Yeah.
market research, you do your interviews, you look at data, all of that stuff. But what really got me into this world and digging into the research and understanding the brain a little bit more is that I wanted to be able to tell clients, like, hey, we're not just doing this because that brand is doing it or because it's everyone is saying you should do this, but our brain actually likes receiving information in this manner for your particular service or for
It
your
eases
company.
people to even start thinking about it, right?
Right,
Like just the words and the visuals that come from it make
right,
you want it or at least want to find out more, which is the whole
right.
goal of marketing, right?
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. And it's really fascinating. I mean, obviously, I would love to own kind of like a research lab where I can just plug everybody in and
Oh,
stuff like this.
yes.
But there's so much information research out there. And I write for
Yes.
a new neuromarketing blog. So I get a lot of research and I
Oh.
dive into it and apply it to campaigns.
You get me that link so I can
Oh, I
put it in
totally
the
will.
show notes because I
I
know people will
totally
be like,
will.
wow,
I
okay,
have
I
so
love
much
it.
research and
I
also
love
I
it. Yeah.
fully understand that I am, if I could turn back time, I probably would have been a neuroscientist, to be honest with you.
How cool
Yeah. If I
though.
could
It's
turn back
because
time,
it's
it
fascinating.
is fascinating. And even from like what I just said earlier, like I would love to crawl under a table when you read my bio. That's all in my brain, right? Like it's so
Yes.
fascinating to
Yes.
yeah, so
Yes.
it's really cool. But we actually have a professor of neuroscience as part of our team who I kind of consult with regularly because there are so many things that I don't even know.
I
That
mean, there's so many things scientists still don't know about the brain
correct.
after all these years. So it's
Yeah,
constantly like that industry is evolving so fast. And how
absolutely.
exciting that you have access to someone like that.
Yeah, it's I mean, she humbles me every day, but
Oh,
but I can do a great graphic sometimes.
I love it. That's what matters for marketing.
Exactly. And I think the second part of your question about is like how wine service-based businesses need
Yeah.
this kind of information. Well, I think for a lot of businesses, whether your service or really product-based, is you are shaping perception, right? So a lot of the time you are trying to convey and make associations between XYZ, whether you're creative, you're honest,
Yeah.
you're reliable, and
Yeah.
your business, right? So understanding how the brain makes those associations in the
Is a shortcut to what's
yeah,
effective.
huge, right? And the why behind it and how to position yourself, that's really key because you have so many competitors, like marketing, like how many marketing agencies?
I mean, you throw a rock and you're going
I
to hit at
know
least a
there's so
couple.
many of them, right? But it's just important to know what will resonate and how to
Yes.
present that information. So
Yeah, I love that. So, what are some common mistakes that you see small businesses make when it comes to brand messaging and audience psychology? What are some of the common things that you tend to find?
sure. So, from a brand and messaging standpoint, and from an audience psychology standpoint, is I do feel that a lot of small businesses out there, they don't listen to their audience enough.
They don't even ask their audience
Correct.
sometimes, let
Absolutely.
alone listen.
Yes. So,
Audience research is like my favorite.
well, it is great, and it's so easy, and you'd be surprised how many people want to help you, right?
I know, I
So
know.
there's a difference between what you want your business to be perceived as and what people actually perceive your business to be.
Yeah.
And you cannot shape or influence perception if you are living in a dream world of what you yourself and I think your audience.
Especially because oftentimes business owners are making assumptions from all of their experience, which has experience in the area that they're selling. And
Correct.
most of the regular people out there have no clue.
Have
And
no
so you have to bridge the gap. And literally, the only way to bridge that gap is to stumble upon going, oh, this reel did really well. What was I talking about? And like analyzing it. That's great. But you can shortcut it by actually talking to these people.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think to kind of piggyback off of that is we tend to have this curse of knowledge. Have you heard of this concept? Right?
Yes.
For those of you that haven't heard of this
Yes.
concept, is it's assuming that your audience knows or cares about your expertise or what you're talking about.
And that actually goes for anything. Your
Yeah.
clients don't really care about anything about you. They just care how you can help them.
Correct. Yes. And
Yeah.
I work with some folks in the medical healthcare world,
Mhm.
and sometimes that's the hard truth that we have to share. It's like, we don't have to go that deep, like, because people will not
Yes.
understand.
Well, and the
Nor,
big words and
yeah,
industry speak does nothing for marketing except
correct.
really drive people away from even going deeper, I
Yeah,
think.
because the moment you get confused, I mean, think about our own habits and our own behaviors. Your brain doesn't like to be confused,
Well, you
and
have like a half a second when people are
right,
scrolling through things to even stop the scroll. And
correct.
so, yeah, 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 yeah.
It's interesting to see when I do some of my kind of discovery sessions, and I do my surveys and forms, and I
Mhm.
look and I talk to, the internal stakeholders of the company, and I ask them the same exact questions. It's actually kind of cool to show everyone's answers and to show how much of a disconnect there is even within the internal organizations on
Yeah.
what their brand and what their business represents. So if you are a solopreneur, or, and if it's you, right? This is even more incentive for you to talk to other people, because there's definitely nobody there checking you on this stuff if not your customer.
Yeah. Well, and I always tell my students too, like newer students who are like, I don't have any clients. Like, who am I going to talk to? I'm like, you can literally put a story on Instagram with questions to
Mhm.
gather some information. You can even talk to your friends. In fact, sometimes I find talking to my friends is even better because they have no clue what I'm talking about in
Right.
terms of marketing at all. And if I can make it easy for them to understand or be intrigued, then I'm like doing well.
Absolutely. And my husband I'm more of the creative, woo, 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 let's go be spontaneous, and my husband's like very analytical, like, oh
Engineerish.
yeah, you know what I mean? So, and there are some folks, right?
Yes.
There's lots of marketing tips out there, but you have
Oh,
to really consider who your audience is and how their brain receives information. Like, if I were to show my husband some puppy or something, he would
yeah.
like it, but he probably won't make a decision because there was a puppy there. You know what I mean? Like, he's want to know the facts and like the
Yes. How
different.
old? Let me see the medical information. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I'm like, it's
It's
so
a
cute.
puppy.
Oh, it fills my heart. And I'm in. So
Yep.
we have to, if your audience is both, then you have to create content for them,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
just understanding who your audience is and stop relying on yourself to
I love
validate
that.
things.
Can you share just as by way of an example? Can you
Sure.
share a story or a client example
Sure.
where neuromarketing really made a measurable impact on conversions or engagement? Because that's at
Sure.
the end of the day, that's important.
Yes. So this is really fun. So there's research out there. So AI is like a huge, obviously huge topic. But people are either saying, oh, everything has to be emotional, like tapping into the stories and emotion, emotion, emotion. But it's actually quite important to really think about the kind of product or service that you are offering your audience. And based on research, if your product or service is more utilitarian, so if it solves problems, if there's efficiency issues, it requires structure, all of that stuff, you could talk about emotion and storytelling till you're blue in the face, but people won't really care, right? But if you have all of these people telling you emotion, 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 it's going to be difficult to fight that, right? Especially from a
Yeah.
client standpoint, you're like telling them,
Yes.
no one really cares about your story.
Yes.
They really, really don't. So we had a client and their product was essentially going to help folks in a particular field with a lot of their research, with like carving out time out of their day for a specific kind of like admin task. So we got a lot of pushback, we should focus in on more of like the brand story and like the hero and all of this stuff. And at the end of the day, it was really like neuromarketing tells us anything utilitarian, we should lean in on that AI brain, use that AI word as much as possible, even though I think recently there's been some backlash on like AI and
Yes.
things like that. But it really shows from this product standpoint, like how it's objective, how it's efficient, how it's quick,
Saves time.
all of that stuff.
Saves time. Yeah.
There's actual measurable impact here, right? And we need to push that in our homepage, in our messaging, all of that stuff. All of the fluffy things, we need to kind of put that aside. I know everyone's telling us to put it in there, but like for this particular product, our brains want to absorb that and receive information saying, hey, this was supported by an AI algorithm.
Yeah.
So we did that. And the brand kind of like the founder story was kind of minimized in a lot of our marketing.
Yeah.
It was different before. And we really actually saw more trials. We changed some of the things that we pushed out there as far as, no one cares about like what it is, how it works, how many tests. We stuck to facts, shaved off X amount of time, 2 times faster.
Results driven.
Resulting this very much quick tidbits of information and ROI, right?
Yes, ROI.
And we saw more trials. We saw more people going to the website. We saw more people reacting to the ads. And again, it's just this piece of information that we can say, hey, look at this research, look at this data, all of these people. It's evident that we are not going to lean on this kind of messaging. Let's lean on this kind of messaging and the social proof, so to speak, because that's what people care about versus all of the long paragraphs of testimonials. And we saw great results from it. So
that's amazing. And it kind of goes not against what's out there, but many times people are saying lead with a story or, like you said, emotion. So that, I buy into that a ton.
And it's just based off of their particular product. So if for me, it might be different, right? For you, it might be different. But again, you have to understand that there's a mix of like what we know, what we see from our audience, but also don't forget all of the data and the research and all of that neuromarketing stuff that's out there, because they're doing it for a reason.
The biggest thing I have to fight with students and clients is the analytics. Like at the end of the day, the analytics are telling you what's happening. And many times people don't even want to look because they're like, oh, I don't want to look and then be told this and do that. But like, if you don't do that, you're like basically cutting short all the time that you could be doing it correctly. Analytics and data is amazing. I have done many a launch without data and they never go well. And every time I dive into the data, they go well. So for me, that was just very clear.
And it kind of circling back to what we were talking about earlier. I think there's this mistake of not wanting to face flaws, face mistakes.
Yes.
Like living within, our own small business owner bubble. And there's a fear of talking to customers because of hearing negative feedback or anything of that nature. But I think the biggest thing here is these are the things that's going to help you to scale and to adjust. And that's ultimately what's going to make your business successful, is your ability to adapt. So
if you learn what works through data and research with, ideal clients or potential clients, no matter what happens business-wise, you're that much farther ahead because you know what people want to hear. Like it's just so smart, like to do it.
Exactly.
Now, having the benefit of having the experience of being on both the agency side and the client side, how has that shaped your philosophy on collaboration and strategy?
Okay. So I love this question. I think transparency and being really, really generous with information actually strengthens these relationships and these collaborations versus the competitive nature, I think, or the protective nature of what it traditionally can be like. Where I think there's this idea of everyone's covering their own ass,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Or I don't want to share all of the metrics because the only thing we can share is like all the good things. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
if you see only the good things,
Yeah.
then on the things you don't share when they're good and these
Uh-huh.
ones are bad, like it is all marketing is a roller coaster. It is never always up, 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 up. It's
Yeah.
I just have never seen that in 10 years. So
I love what you just said. And I think that is something that we express to our clients and I
Mhm.
express to the team. If there was one magical formula, and if there was a person or a company that figured out the magical formula that would work for every business or any industry, that person would be a gajillionaire and I would pay for it.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's all an experiment. And even if I own a laundromat in Florida, and then I also own one in New York and own one in California, those audiences are still different.
Totally different. I had an expert in Latina
Mm-hmm.
marketing,
Mm-hmm.
like real niche.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting to hear, even for the Latin market, East Coast, West Coast, and out of the United States
Yeah.
are all totally different.
All
It's
different.
wild.
It's wild. So that's why I loved what you just said that, you got to look at the information in front of you. You have to talk to people. And that's how you're able to really cultivate and create a solid marketing plan for your unique business. Like I always tell folks, like, be a little weary if someone's just telling you this is the magic,
It
box.
it's not, there is no magic. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sad. It's sad. I think I've
Yeah.
searched for it for 10 years, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's the magic is looking at the data
Uh-huh.
and adjusting accordingly and to do it often. Like everyone's
Mhm.
like, oh, I don't want to mess with it because it's like good right now. But if you're getting indicators from the data that you need to
Pivot.
alter course,
Yeah.
you've got to pivot. You
Yeah.
and the longer you take to pivot, the harder it's going to be to recover. Like that's the thing.
Absolutely.
You have to be comfortable with being flexible, and that was the hardest thing for me. That
Yeah.
and perfectionism. Not
Oh,
in
that's my
marketing.
thing.
You
I
just
just
not
talked
in
to my
marketing.
therapist about learning this perfectionism thing I got going on over here.
And patience. Not
Oh,
patient.
yeah.
And you need to be patient. But I think all of those things that frustrate me make me a better marketer because I'm willing to push out of my comfort zone, which I think is really good advice for entrepreneurs in general.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think also important for your clients, and this is kind of our mantra at Halcon is I want our clients to understand what they're looking at and what the data means, right? And
Yes.
it's not about waiting for them to ask, right? It's
No.
presenting it and empowering them with it. And I think there's a fear that, oh my God, if our clients know all of this stuff, then they're going to be able to judge us and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. If you're doing the right thing, if you're working hard,
Yeah.
show them all the things.
Well, and with everything, I think, but with
Yeah.
Pinterest in particular, it's very much a roller coaster depending on the time of year and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always prepare clients before they even sign the contract that it is to be expected, understand that it's important. And actually, when stats go down, when analytics or insights go down, that actually gives me so much good indications on where to go from there. So like I'll say, okay, this area is down and this area is down. This is what we're doing to bring them back up. We're going in, all of the things.
Yeah.
I think it builds a trust with clients because you're giving them the good, bad, and the ugly. And then
Mm-hmm.
you're saying what you're going to do about it. And
Exactly.
and it always ends up going back up, but you can't fight the natural rhythms either for either your industry or the platform or whatever.
Absolutely. And I think the fact that you share those
Yes.
insights, and also I think you hit on something key is what are you going to do?
Yes. We're not just going to sit and twiddle our thumbs
Right.
and
You're
keep
gonna
doing the
wait.
same thing. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what I tell some clients when I'm pitching, like whether you go to me or any other agency,
Yes.
just make sure that they're willing and open to share with you. Because if you get the sense that you're not understanding what you're investing in or what's going on or why numbers are, then that's kind of a red flag. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you hiding
Yeah.
things for me?
Or if you do a discovery call and of course, everyone wants to present great numbers, but
Right.
if you're not honest about how it is very up and down, and these numbers were taken on a month that was great for them, like if you're not super transparent about that
Mhm.
and you only hear good on a discovery call, be weary because
Yes.
nobody has 100% accuracy. Like
No. And
it's just never going to happen.
it's again tailored to your unique business, your flow, all of that fun stuff.
Yeah. Okay. What advice would you have for women entrepreneurs who are really struggling with standing out in crowded markets? And I will say this, I have never met a person that doesn't say that their industry is super crowded.
Right.
Like I don't think I've ever talked to somebody that hasn't said that to me. Like that's just business.
Yeah. No, I mean, are you kidding me? Right?
I know.
Yeah.
And I know that's a huge question, but any
Yeah.
little tips you might have about it?
So I think I have two tips. One's a mindset tip. One is no matter how crowded your industry is or oversaturated it is in your area, your city, your industry, whatever, there is a place for you. If you do the research, if you do the work, if you talk to your people, and that doesn't mean from a superficial level, the people who want chocolate, right? Like there's deeper insights into that psyche and their values.
Yeah.
So get over that, right? Like get over
Yeah.
that it's so saturated. There's too many people. And my second piece of advice, actually I have three.
Yeah, good. We love it.
Is we kind of talked about it nauseum at this point is understand who you're trying to help, right? Like understand your audience, what's their triggers, why they make decisions. And it's again beyond the superficial need that they have. Yes, they might need an accountant. Yes, they might need a social media manager. Yeah, that's the base, right?
Yeah.
Or they need a house.
Yes.
Well, we help realtors sometimes, like, yes, these people need houses. But
Yes.
chances are they're not going to go and opt for you because you have 50 posts about the house that just
Mhm.
sold. Like, right? Like there's more to it. So understand who these women are or who these men are, whoever are that
Yeah.
you are helping and understand them really, really, really well. Like you should be able to kind of shapeshift and be that person.
And I want to add on to that
Yeah.
also. A lot of times people getting started in their business are going to do research, let's say,
Mhm.
but it is not a set it and forget it. So
Yeah.
like I think that's really important to
Yes.
talk about.
It is not. Oh my
But I
God.
know you're going to get to your third tip, but
No,
I don't want to
let's
lose that thought.
no, let's run with that thought.
Yeah.
I presented a brand book yesterday to a client, and one of the first things I said was this, kind of what you said. This is not a static doc. This is a moving document because what happens is you do all your audience research. Obviously, you do the best you can. You create your brand messaging, your pill, whatever it is that you're doing. But then you go and do the thing, right? You release it to your audience. And then once you release it to your audience, you're going
You're
to
going
get
to get
real
more
time
feedback.
feedback. Yeah. You're getting all of this information. So it's a cyclical process. So you're getting real time feedback on all of the things that you're putting out there. So all those insights are tweaking all of this, all of the original stuff that you are doing. So don't ignore this stuff and say, well, my research in 2024 said I had to do
I mean,
you know,
I know.
yeah.
Yes.
You gotta
And what's
be
really
careful.
funny is oftentimes those businesses have also completely pivoted like 3 times and they're still using this old
Correct.
data.
Absolutely. And and my third thing is
Yeah.
really don't look at your all the competitors in your market and compare
It just makes you
yourself.
feel less than sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I know people do it to get inspiration,
Uh-huh.
but it can also make you feel like, gosh, look at everything they're doing. But they may have a team of 10, right? And then you feel like you've done nothing, but you're like one person in a business.
Exactly. And I spoke at an event a few weeks ago and I said that same exact thing. You don't know how much money they have. You don't know who's backing them. You don't know how many people are on their team. So you don't replicate. So figure out where the gaps are. So get to know your
Yeah.
audience, but also get to know your competitors in the sense of what they're doing well and what they're not doing well and how to
Yes.
leverage it.
Yes.
Don't replicate. Get a little
Yep.
strategic in there.
I had one client who said that they wanted to launch something new, and
Um,
we had just finished a launch, and I love launching. That was not a problem, but I was like, why? Like, what brought this up? What made you decide you wanted a whole new service? And they were like, well, my competitor has this service, and I know that people are just going to her for that service, so I need to have that service. Upon more conversation, it wasn't even work she wanted to do. Right? That's where learning about your competitors can actually really diminish or
mhm.
change your business in a way that you're not even going to enjoy moving forward.
Yeah. So basically, I think these are key takeaways. Know yourself, know your
Yes.
audience, and know your competitors, but know yourself first.
Yes. I don't think I've ever heard somebody say that like all in a row.
Yeah, I think that was like what our key thing is. I think
Yeah.
that you have your values, you have all of those things,
Yes.
and stick to it. You don't want to live your life doing work that you don't enjoy. And if you're lucky enough and blessed enough to do the
Yeah.
work you enjoy, like do it.
Yes.
And don't
Yes.
let
Don't
your
don't
competitors.
just start a service because
Yeah,
somebody else is doing it. Only start a
exactly.
service if that's something that you've been thinking about. You just don't have to run out and create something and dump a bunch of money in it. Sometimes you will want to do research with your current clients and say, hey, if I had this type of service, would that be something that you're interested in? Like, make
Mhm.
sure you also have an audience that's what the audience wants, not just what you want either, right? If you
Exactly.
can't sell it, who
Exactly.
cares?
Exactly. And for new folks who are considering starting a business or just started their business,
Yes.
remember you're not known yet, right? You're in this
Yes.
fun phase of like
You get to
creating.
play and
Yes,
experiment.
exactly. What do you want to be known for? And the last thing you want to do is to not be known for anything because you're trying to be known for everything
Everything.
under the
Oh,
sun.
and that
Yeah.
could be a whole nother episode.
Right, right. I mean, it's like if I go on someone's Pinterest page, right? I'm gonna be like, and I don't have the time to like investigate what it is that you do. I want to
No.
know, like right off
Yep.
the bat.
It has to be like a pin that stands out from the crowd that says the words that you're feeling or
Correct.
that you're going through or that you are looking for. Like
Right.
that's the whole point.
Right.
That's what
Yeah.
keywords are like.
Super
Okay,
fun.
if someone listening right now feels like their brand just isn't connecting,
Hmm.
what should someone do immediately to change, and like what can they do this week if they feel like it's not connecting?
Okay. I want to tell everyone listening and watching, when I say connect, I say there's two different things. There's attracting and there's connecting, right? So
Yes.
So I look at marketing, right? Like creating, I have puzzles in front of me. I have two little boys and there's puzzles everywhere.
Everywhere.
But let's pretend this is a
Yeah.
marketing flyer.
There we go.
Yeah.
Marketing flyer.
So it's going to be super cool, super nice. It's flashy. So you're attracting people with this marketing flyer, right? But then once I read the marketing flyer, am I connecting with it? Is this
Am I
marketing flyer correct? Exactly.
do I feel like they're talking to me?
Exactly. And the messaging here could be different. It could be about your story, or if you're a utilitarian business,
Yeah.
maybe it's about like how your tech or whatever it is.
Yes.
But
How it can change your life for the better, bottom line.
exactly. Exactly. At the end of the day, though, that's what I mean by connecting. The connecting
Yes.
yields the conversion because you can attract as much as you can, but if if I don't believe you, if I don't trust you, if I don't connect with what you have to say, I'm not going to click your ad and do what you want me to do. I'm going to look at your ad, but I'm not going to do what you want me to do.
Yes. Connecting is the moving forward.
Correct. So that's
Yes.
how I define all of these things in case there's any confusion. But
Yeah.
if you feel like you look at your numbers, you look at your data, and you say, hey, my stuff isn't yielding the results that I'm wanting, AKA the connection and the quote conversions that I need it to
Yes.
do,
Yes.
then I think that's where, if you have a library of historical content or data from your content,
Yes.
you look at what has been working, what hasn't been working, right? What kind of stories, what kind of messaging have you been pushing out there? And if
Yes.
you don't have that, or if you haven't been tracking it, which you should be tracking it, then it's important for you, I think, to take a step back and reanalyze the messaging that you are sharing with the world. And it might be
Or redo some research. Like
correct.
whenever you feel, or at least this is what I do, whenever something marketing wise, a launch or whatever it is that I'm doing, if it doesn't land, i.e., it's not connecting, i.e.,
Mhm.
it's not converting,
Mhm.
I also want to go back to the data, and or maybe my data is not giving me the information I need. I need to do more research. And
Correct.
you can use Instagram stories for research. Like
Mhm.
people, for whatever reason, they'll select. Like you ask a question, you have 5 options, they'll select. And if one of those questions doesn't really get answers, then those options were not accurate.
Mhm.
Or you maybe fill in a box, but sometimes it's easier to
Absolutely.
get them to do, either or choices.
Absolutely. It doesn't mean quit. It doesn't mean stop doing it.
Correct. Or pivot. Like a lot of
Yeah,
people pivot right before they could see success. Sometimes
correct.
it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, I like to say let your marketing breathe, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
also look at your own buying behaviors. Like
Oh,
I think we expect our audience or our customers to make buying decisions quicker than we do. We're all human, right? Like think about how long it takes for
I'm
you to
the
breathe that,
worst.
right? Think
I'm
about how,
either a jump in right now,
right,
or I'm like wait and then wait and then wait and then
correct.
I'm convinced, right?
Yes. Yeah. How many times do I have to
Yeah.
get served this ad for this sweatshirt before I
Oh
I
my God, and those
believe
ads
it?
follow you around,
I
especially if you're doing a
know.
good
There's a
job.
reason because it takes, at least 7 touch points to like make
Yes.
you do anything.
And
So
I've heard some scientific results that it's like more around 11 or 14
yeah, I've
times
heard some
rather
that's
than the
like
7.
21.
That I would actually agree, honestly,
Yeah.
especially sort of in this economy right now. People
Right.
have a little bit of fear that also adds in. So don't be making changes for the time or the season
Right.
either. Like
Right.
sometimes it needs time to marinate and get past the holidays.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Like it just you have to let your marketing breathe.
all right.
Very cool.
Before we get to the gift that you are sharing with our audience, tell everyone about the services that you provide in case anyone's been listening or watching today and is like, oh my God, I need Nicole's help.
Oh my God, I need you in my life, everyone.
Yes.
So we are full service marketing agency. We're known as Halcon Marketing. We do literally everything. We do brand strategy, market research, all of that fun stuff. But we do monthly marketing, email, everything. This is like the worst question for me because we are
No,
literally
but that's cool.
everything. Yeah. And what's great about it is because we start from the brand development phase all the way into
Yeah.
the execution phase. So we make sure that, everything has a purpose, a rationale, science, all that stuff, fun, geeky stuff you
Yes.
like, and that we see it through into your marketing, which is really cool.
Love that. All right. Tell everyone what your freebie is and how it can help.
Okay. So this is actually your audience is getting this first. So that's really
I'm so
cool.
excited.
Yeah, so I actually created a really cool guide and workbook that really focuses on the 5 neuromarketing secrets. And this is all from research, okay, guys? So this is not made up.
Yeah. That's
five
important
neuromarketing,
these days.
yeah, 5 neuromarketing secrets that you can apply to your brand so that our tagline at Falcon is to be remembered. And I think ultimately in this crazy, noisy, world we live in, grabbing people's attention and being remembered is key. So these are like 5 really actionable, cool tips. And I don't go into the jargon and all the nerdy stuff, but I
I
can if you
love
want, but it's all in there and you can download it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, I want to thank you so much for your valuable advice and also your time, because time is money. And if you listening or watching found some ideas and tips that you can implement in your business, we would love for you to leave a review. Now go out there and do something good for your business, like snagging Nicole's gift, and put some time on your calendar for next week or the week after, so you don't just sign up for that freebie, but you actually implement it in your business, because your business isn't going to change just by getting education. It's just
Right.
not.
Right.
Thank you so much. I could have talked to you all day.
Oh, we can. We can. What's going on? No, I'm just
I love it. I love it. Have a good day.